got two eyes, try to see the way the world turned, what happened to me. It's not exactly what I thought it would be. I got my house on a little piece of land. This is the place I'm gonna take my stand. But I keep living on dreams. One thing I know, that's the way it's gotta be. Am I living the American dream? I keep searching for that dream of me, hoping someday that I will see myself in American dream.
Well, hell y'all doing, baby? It is Tuesday, baby. It's Tuesday. It's time. It's time for another Blue Dot family meeting. Boy, howdy, am I got my days mixed up or what? Is it Tuesday or is it Thursday? Shit. Well, whatever day it is, I'm glad to have y'all here. And, so we can discuss the day's news, whether it's Tuesday or Thursday. Son of a bitch. Anyway, Irene Lambert was the first one to jump in, followed by Dorothy Tyndall. Kelly 1313 is in here. Now it's sticking in my head. Debbie Corpran, our own Mission Chick, is in the room. Jeanette Miller, Busy Lizzie is in here. Thank you very much. JTLBZ is in. Let me see. Big Johnson's in the room. Sammy Marcy, Teresa Hicks, David Ritchie, Bunny Griffin, Jeanette Miller, she's just saying hello to everybody. I just love that shit. Roger Himmelwright is in there. Jamie B., Susan Greenland, Penny Hartleman, James Tripp, Stephen Stayers, Jeanette Dahl. Let me jump on down here. We won't get started. Jeff Curry's in the room. Gordon Marbles and Dina Michael, Carl Vogel. Anyway, whatever the hell day it is, that's just pissing me off in my head. My head is full of shit right now, and it's anyway, whatever the hell day it is. You know, I read an article today. I read a letter Danielle Sassoon wrote to Attorney General Pam Bondi today. This was in the case involving New York Mayor Adams, who is under corruption charges, and the U.S. attorney handling that case, Danielle Sassoon, offered to resign her post because of a quid pro quo the Justice Department is making with Mayor Adams. And I read it, and I just want to say I'm so proud right now, because we need this shit right now. We need a little bit of integrity, and that's what this letter was, challenging outright the decision to try to drop the charges, which were, I understand, very solid, and the U.S. Attorney Danielle Sassoon was very confident in her case. To all of a sudden have it dismissed because Mayor Adams might be agreeable to allowing Donnie's ICE agents operate in New York City, which is a sanctuary city. So basically, you got the mayor who's got his ass in a sling, making a deal with the Department of Justice to drop a case for the benefit of the administration, so they can further their attack on immigration in this country. And I just want to point out that I'm just so proud of her for her actions. I hope it catches on. I hope we see more people standing up against this shit that we're seeing, and all we can do is hope. Anyway, hi, Miss Chick.
Hi, John.
How are you doing, dear?
Um, I think my body caught up with the rest of me. I'm not sure.
I can relate to that.
Just racing around doing stuff at the last minute. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah. Boy, howdy.
Yeah. Boy, howdy. And yeah, speaking of stuff, the stuff that I've been doing.
What stuff?
Um,
You've been doing stuff?
well, yeah, because, we've talked about this, how difficult it is to focus right now, because it's everything everywhere all at once.
Right.
And it gets to be a little overwhelming. But before we don't get to ever vote again, there are some special elections coming up. And I want to remind people that those are very important, two specifically in Florida.
Indeed.
For our U.S. House for Florida, which is Matt Gaetz's old seat and
You remember him.
Michael Waltz's old seat.
So that's
And
two
we do
seats.
That's 2 seats. So we have Gail Valmont. She did run in the original November 4th, 5th election.
Right.
And lost to Matt, but he stepped down. Remember, he resigned. And so she's running again. She does have opponents, quite a few of them.
Right.
Not all of them are Republican, though. There's a whole slew of them.
There's a lot of people trying to grab that seat.
Yeah, and
Matt
the other
Gaetz.
one is, let's see, wait, let me look real quick here. That was Josh Wheel is the other one to try and replace, I had the district numbers down, but I don't know where I put them. Replace Michael Waltz there. So we really need those two in the House. So Florida.
Desperately.
The actual day of voting is April 1st. They do have a little bit of early voting the week before, specifically. So look that up. And of course, as always, check your voting registration often.
Indeed.
Very often.
Very often. There's a reason for that.
No matter what state you're in.
Yeah,
but all around the country, we have some special elections coming up for not at the national Washington level, but at their state House and Senates, and those are just as important, if not more important. So we have Massachusetts, the sixth, I don't have the names, I just have the districts. The sixth, my mouth's not working, 6th district on May 13th. Alabama, that's for a House seat. Alabama has a Senate seat, state Senate seat in District 5 on June 24th. California has state Senate seats, District 36 and 32, April 29th. Connecticut has a state Senate and a state House. That would be Districts 21 and Districts 40, respectively, on February 25th. That one's coming up quick. Delaware has a state Senate seats also in the 1st District and the 5th District, February 15th. Iowa has state Senate District 35 and House District 100. That's March 11th. And Florida also has some state level stuff coming up on June 10th, both Senate and House. I'm not going to list all the districts in these other ones, but Louisiana also has some state Senate, March 29th. Maine has a House seat, February 25th. Minnesota, you've got House and Senate, also March 11th. One of them was listed as January, and they moved it to March. I'm not sure what all of that was about. Mississippi Mississippi has some House and Senates on March 25th and April 15th. So, go around and check to see if your
Yeah.
state has any.
Yeah.
I know Oklahoma, Washington,
That's the name of the
Virginia,
game
South
nowadays.
Carolina, and Pennsylvania all have things
That's
coming
the name
up.
of the game, is to stay on top of local politics, your district, your
Go to
your
Ballotpedia. You can find all the information on Ballotpedia.
Check out what the ballot is in your area. These are going to be very important races coming up, and
yes,
it's going to affect the balance of power, and we need to be in that fight, very much so. Let me see. I see somebody down there we can pick on easy. Hello, Uncle Fatty.
Brainworms.
Yes. Yes, Department of Health and
Department of Hell and High Water.
I think. Hell and High Water. That's more like it. Health and Human Services. Yeah. Everybody he's picking is getting confirmed because we have a Republican Congress that doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, man.
That have just,
you guys.
Huh?
I was just saying, it's always good to see you guys.
Always good to see you, Patty. Always good to see you.
Elections are going to make a huge difference. They really are. We got a really good chance of being able to at least pull some 50-50 something out of this shit. And not have to just play the blockade game for the rest of the next 2 years.
That's what it's going to be. If we can't do something, in these special elections, which, we got to give it our best shot. But there's no guarantee. And right now he's got carte blanche to do whatever the hell he wants. And
he's told federal judges to basically go screw themselves.
Yeah.
That he's not going to comply.
Yeah. And where does that leave us? Where does that leave us as a society when the rules don't apply anymore? And that's
it seems like a monarchy to me, buddy.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's exactly what he wants. He wants to be an oligarch society. Do away with that limit on presidential terms.
How does that work when you have two people sitting at the Resolute desk, though?
Yeah, that is a good question.
Don't mind the
yeah. That little display we saw in the Oval Office with Elon Musk and man, that just nothing screams oligarch than that shit. He's in charge of everything as far as I know.
Yeah.
And
he's got his hand in everything.
Yeah.
And that just
17 court cases that were coming up against him. 5 federal investigators that got fired. And, there's no nepotism. There's no conflict of interest there at all.
No conflict of interest in that $400 million deal that with the Army for electric armored vehicles.
Right.
That Elon Musk. Yeah. He's, of course, I fully expect him to back out of that, for ethical reasons.
Oh.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
I think ethics has just about gone out the window in this administration. It does. There is no such thing as ethics. It's all just smoke, mirrors, and seeing what they can get away with. Let me thank Louis Russo, who came in with $5, said Elon awarded $400 million contract. Next day, State Department removes the word Tesla from the $400 million U.S. armored vehicles list. Yeah, because you're going to try to slide it through. That's exactly what it is. The fox
Smoke
in charge of the hen house.
Flood the zone.
Huh?
Flood the zone. You got to flood the zone with all the shit so nobody realizes what's going on. And
yeah.
That's the strategy, it seems like.
We got to flood them back with the truth is what we got to do.
Yeah. Well, that's the deal. It's squeaky wheel gets the grease. Like you were saying before, we got to get out. We got to make sure these special elections go off and and get out
Yep.
President's Day and hit the streets at least.
It has never been more important. You know, a lot of people overlook midterms and special elections and stuff. You know, they've got their life to live, and it's not, you know, if it's not carried in the news prominently, people have the tendency to be lax. As a matter of fact, I read the article concerning Supreme Court Justice Sotomayor talking about the age of information, calling on news organizations to tell the truth. It basically put about the responsibility of journalism in our society, because that's where most people get their news. And if you pay attention, well, most of them Republicans get their news from Fox, and we know that's not news. That's an entertainment station, not a news station. So they can just push the truth all over the place. And
well, we got the AP, we got the PBS.
Yeah, AP kicked out for not wanting to use the term Gulf of America.
Shit.
That's what that's about. So they kicked the Associated Press out of the room.
There's left ones left, you know.
That was a good excuse, huh? Whatever.
Yeah, ain't it?
Yeah.
It shows you what they're trying to
by
do.
The corporate oligarchy anymore that has, you know, stepping orders coming down from their shareholders saying this is what we want because we got to make money. We don't care about news. We want to make money.
Don't care about the news or truth. You just got to make money. You got to make that revenue. So, George, are you with us?
I certainly am, John.
How you doing?
I'm hanging on every word.
Yeah, need to get a good handle, brother.
I got one hell of a charge out of that bus 4-year-old kid putting Trump in his place.
I think we've all seen that. I've studied that video over and over and over. It appears that's what he says. I'm not sure. But if it is what he said, then where do you think that kid got that language from?
Well, kids repeat what they hear, don't they?
That's
absolutely
that's the rule of thumb. They repeat what they hear, and I can just see that too. With Elon watching the TV or some shit when Trump's making an idiot out of himself, to have those words come out of his mouth.
Yeah, that's what the future will look like too if we get rid of our Department of Education.
Yeah, man.
Everything will be a mimic of the parents, you know.
Yeah.
And we got the World Wrestling wife going on for her confirmation today, and she didn't get grilled very hard. Bernie kind of laid into her a little bit.
You can expect Kash Patel to get his pass through too, because the Republican Senate, what they I tried to read another article what they call that when you just have a facade for a Senate there in Congress. It's they're just there to do the bidding of whatever Trump wants. Mm-hmm. You know, with hardly any pushback.
Are you shitting me? No, that's the same kind of deal with the mayor up in New York getting them wanting to throw the case out and stuff. They want people that they can manipulate because they're holding something over their head.
Yep.
Going to create the whole cabinet and everything around him is going to be dictated by him or Musk.
Well, right now, thank goodness, the courts have put a halt on most of his shit, but not all of it. Something got passed today that he was doing. Jesus, I shouldn't start a sentence unless I know what I'm talking about.
Well, and even still, when they did block the stuff, it was mandatory that by law, you have to stop doing what it is until it becomes arbitrated. And he ain't stopped the shit.
Yeah, that's the part Donnie doesn't like. What'd you say? By law?
Right?
Yeah, that's the part he doesn't like.
Part.
Yeah. He doesn't believe in
by law means by
him.
him. Yeah.
But man, we're in for a ride. I'm telling you. Every day it's a new bucket of shit. Every day. Let me thank Kay Allen, our darling in D.C., came in with a $20 donation and said, all DJT has put forth is rubbish. Fox Spews is nonsense. The courts are having a blast. I have not listened into Fox News. That's one place I won't go because I don't want my brain damaged. But yeah, it's yeah. Most of what he's put up is bullshit. He's throwing enough shit up on the wall just to rile everybody up, for one thing, get everybody pissed off. The maggots are just having a ball with this shit. They just loving it until it starts to impact them. And that's when the tune is going to change. And I don't think it's going to be that long before those impacts start. And as a matter of fact, they already have started. So let's see where this all goes. You know.
In the meantime, there's protests almost every day if you go in to, what is the name of this thing I'm in here? Gather, organize, mobilize. Anyways, even today, today's the 13th, there was Love is Resistance, Boston Rally on the Commons. DC says hands off trans and queer artists. Love DC, Dump Trump, that's tomorrow at noon.
Outstanding.
Yeah, the People United, Friday the 14th. That's in St. Louis, I think. Las Vegas has something on the 15th. Yeah. There's all sorts of things going on, and specifically on Monday. President's Day is my President Day.
Not my President Day. I like that.
Not my President Day.
Not my President Day.
Some of them are calling it No King's Day.
They're supposed to assemble and rally at multiple locations around the country, aren't they?
Yes.
A lot of the locations are just like the 50-51, which was to go to your state capital. But the times might vary depending on, your area. Most of them are at noon, but sometimes it's a little different.
So check your local news stations or news outlets. Find out if there's one going on in your area, because I know there is.
Absolutely. And broadcast that shit when you're there. Share that shit and make sure it gets out and that people see it.
Yeah.
Oops.
Let me thank Kay Allen. Darling, be careful. Came back in with another $10 and said the farmers are angry. Very angry.
Yes,
go figure.
They are.
Yes. It's all this tariff shit.
Billions of dollars.
Well, they were also caught up in a situation where they were, doing loans to get more equipment and do upgrades and whatever, and now it's ripped away from them.
That's the farming way, isn't it? You got to be out of pocket. Those guys, man, I feel for the farmers, man. That's the hardest thing to do, is put your whole livelihood on the line for something that may or may not even grow.
It's a really weird profession. It really is. I've worked around farms, and it's speculation. A lot of it's just, will the weather be good? Will there be a crop? How much,
ultimately, the buyer is the government.
Yeah.
And then the government pulls
farm subsidies are a huge thing.
They are.
Wouldn't surprise me that if you've seen a vast number of bankruptcies and stuff, and then watch outside interests like the Saudis try to swoop in and buy that property.
Oh yeah.
They did it in the Southwest and pretty much zapped the hell out of the water supply down there, the groundwater.
Yep.
And it's something. They have no regard for our resources other than what they can utilize for themselves. So, and of course, Donnie, he's willing to sell anything and ain't bolted down.
Pretty much. And his new, is it Department of Interior? Is that the one that would do the parks and public lands?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I believe so.
She seems real open to just, drill, baby, drill. We're going to let you in there. Go ahead and do it.
Right in the middle of Grand Canyon. Doesn't matter. Let's drop a drilling rig there.
Architect Project 2025. They got a seat at the table.
There's a... Shit. I'm sorry, my mind is occupied. I'll be the first one to admit it. It's preoccupied with something, and I can't get it out of my head, and it's constantly getting in my way. Let me thank Stephen Sayers, who came in with a $5 donation and said, WWRPD. What would a real president do? Not the shit this guy's doing. That's for damn sure. It's a daily shit show. I'm trying to remember something I read today that yeah, and that ain't working. Shit.
Was it about a squirrel by chance?
Yeah, it's a squirrel. Yeah, I got a definite big problem today. I've had some incidents that's happened that are definitely on my mind, and
that's the whole point of flooding the zone, is to keep us off guard, keep us so full of shit that we don't know where to think.
Yeah, it is hard to focus on any one central point because we just like in our meetings here, we just kind of go from one subject to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next, and somewhere
it's a constant barrage of bullshit that's been thrown at us. And but no, that's not my problem. Mine is a personal matter that's in my head, and when you get a worm in your head, shit. Oh wait, that guy's Health and Human Services Director. Hell, it can't be that bad. Anyway,
you could be president, John.
Franklin, are you with us?
Yes, I am, John.
How are you doing this evening?
Doing good. Besides my son, he's sick.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, he got RSV.
Oh.
Yeah. I had to take him to the emergency room.
Oh.
Shit, I hope everything turns out right there.
How old is he?
I assume it did.
But on the good note,
on the positive side,
we got a shit president.
Yeah, I don't know if that yeah, no worms.
Positive.
We've got a shit show. Let's face it, every freaking day. You could sit in front, and that's what I do. Sit in front of the damn TV, watch the news, pull it up on my iPad, read the news, and it's just a constant barrage of shit. And everything he does is being challenged. And that's just here in the United States, not to mention what he's doing to Europe and Ukraine. Hell, he's done thrown Ukraine to the wolves. Just might as well just say, give it to Russia. It's a sad statement of fact what a majority of this country voted into office is a disappointment, to say the least.
Well, you know what gets me though, John. It's funny now, knowing that the people that voted for Trump are now the ones that are crying, and bitching, and complaining. Don't feel bad. I feel bad for the farmers. I really do. I really feel bad for the farmers. They're the ones that are getting fucked.
I think all of us are going to get fucked. All of us.
That's true too. Yeah. Yeah.
To find out, don't you?
Because this is going to.
That is true.
Sucks.
Yeah, FAFO.
That is true.
And that's what they did. They voted this asshole in, and now let's see what happens. And it is, just like talking about the farmers. Most of them, I would assume, they're in red states.
Yep.
I assume a lot of them voted for him.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, the other foot drops. And they're finding out it's going to impact them in a big way.
Yeah.
But he's going to backpedal as many special deals as he possibly can. He'll make exceptions wherever he needs to.
Well, I was watching the news
3 years,
not too long ago.
Indeed, Bear.
Not too long ago, and I guess Mitch McConnell's basically having a change of heart.
Mitch McConnell
has a heart?
I don't think he has a heart. I think he's trying to claim a little bit of integrity as he goes out the door. That's the only thing I can think of.
A little
You
late.
know,
A little bit of dignity.
a little bit of
Just a tiny
dignity,
little
yeah.
Purple Heart.
That he didn't fall on the floor and grovel at Donnie's feet like
Yeah.
every other Republican senator just did.
A little buyer's remorse, maybe?
Yeah, maybe
Oh.
so. Maybe so.
He's trying to save
Yeah.
face.
He's
He's
not
trying to be a
without
good
blame
Christian.
in this shit.
Yeah.
You know, he
Yeah.
could have
Yeah,
spoke
he's
up a
so-
whole lot more forceful after January 6th, but he
Yeah.
fell in line with the rest of them.
Oh,
So
he was
Those
just
party
floating
lines.
on the waves.
Now I think he's circling the drain, and that's why he's having, had nothing to lose.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
he's got
Did you
nothing to
see
lose,
the
but we do.
Tennessee representatives
Absolutely.
walked out of Eden today? There's 13 of them that walked out when the
Really?
Republicans. Yeah, they switched. Remember the Tennessee Three?
Right?
I forget their names, but yeah, they got a coalition of pretty much all the Democrats and then walked out of the joint session today, where the Republicans were trying to reword and rework all the legislation. Of course, they've got the majority, so
Right.
they walked.
Yeah.
The Democrats all walked out and held the presser out in the rotunda, and just let everybody know that they're not going to comply. They're not going to sit back and just allow this rhetoric and this hate and this bullshit to go on. They're trying to reinstall the Ten Commandments. Got brought up again today down there in public schools.
Yeah.
You know, so we're taking away the public funding. So now we're going to just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fresh meat to the base is what it is.
Yep.
Those kind of things. You know, the Ten Commandments in school. That's red meat to them. Oh my God.
Mhm.
Hey, I got an idea. Try living by them. That'd be better than just posting them out there at the school or anywhere else.
Well,
Try to
these
live by them.
good Christian folks, good Christians, they don't care if the kids are dying in Sudan.
Yeah,
They don't
Christians
care if
my
the
ass.
Ukrainians are dying. We got billions of dollars worth of prepackaged food sitting in warehouses that we're not giving to people. We got billions of dollars worth of AIDS medication
That is not
sitting in
being. Yeah.
warehouses, not going to people. And they're just like, oh no, yeah, Trump was sent by God.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. To do what? To do what?
To fuck
To
this country
fulfill-
over.
To
That's
fulfill
what he's
the
doing
Bible
now.
for the second coming, and this is the part where the false prophet comes in, or the what do they call him?
Yeah, Antichrist, that guy.
The Messiah.
Yeah,
Mike-
whatever. The
Antichrist.
That's what it is. That's what he is. I can't
And
understand the religious backing of this man. And now who's that?
They're desperately
preacher that-
gullible.
Oh man, yeah. Gather on Sunday and then turn to shit on Monday.
Yeah.
It's but that's it's part of our population. It's
I-
within ourselves.
John, I was watching the Linda McMahon confirmation hearing.
Yeah, the lady from WWE,
Yeah.
case
she's
in
actually-
point.
She's pretty
Yeah,
smart gal.
Department of Education, ain't it?
Oh my God!
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the answers were good, but or that they're going to do them. But she did actually have some pretty good points in her answers. But it's all sycophantial bullshit. It's all rhetoric. It's all gatekeeping. Get me in the gates, and everything will be exactly the opposite.
Yeah,
of what
considering he wants to shut it down. He wants to destroy the Department of Education anyway.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And what really gets me is she does have she is going to court over child harassment.
who's going?
I don't know if you guys know that.
she's got.
Linda McMahon, Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
they're
lady
going
we
to
just talked
court
about, yeah.
because the simple fact of the matter is one of the workers that was hired back a couple years ago, he was only I think 18, 19 years old, and I guess he was setting up the ring crew, and from what I'm hearing is I guess he was sexually abused or something.
Yeah, beyond that's
Beyond that,
that's an understatement. Yeah,
she's in on that.
on the cover up,
Yeah.
and they're harassing of him and his parents to
Yep.
file charges and to trying to pressure him into signing NDAs, non-disclosure.
Yes. Exactly. And
Ain't
and
that
if you
some
think
shit?
about it, they've all
Yeah.
see
What was we
Vince
talking
and
about?
Linda.
Integrity. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you,
Yeah.
John.
Yeah. Hey, let me catch up real
Even
quick
though
before I get behind here. Intrepids came in with a $10 donation and said, "In the vast landscape of Texas, this little blue dot shines, a reminder that even in the largest of places, small moments of calm and connection can make all the difference. Good luck from Australia." Well,
Amen to that.
Intrepids, thank you very much. That was very eloquently put for somebody that just sits up here and runs his mouth. I appreciate that tremendously. And Keith Thompson, that Marine came in with $5, said, "Hello, Blue Dots. I am sitting back with popcorn watching a true Trump shit show." And that's what it is. And Kay Allen, our darling in D.C., came back again with $10 and said, "BRICS is out competing the U.S. Fuck Donald J. Trump and his stupidity. Rural health care saved by the courts." Yes, a lot of his shit is hitting the courts and it's hitting a brick wall. The dangerous one came in with $4.20. Inside joke. No debt ceiling. Robert Barron's, stop the steal, baby. Yeah, he wants to cancel the debt ceiling because he's in office. And John E. McCormick came in with $5 and said, "Hi from the Philippines. And 100% disabled veteran Muskrat wants to cut disabled veterans benefit." Yes, he does. Yeah, he does. He wants to cut everything. And John, thank you very much. And you're where I wanted to be. I always say that. Anytime I hear from anybody from the Philippines, that was my plan. I was an old Navy guy. I was going to go back to the Philippines and retire there. Then I came to Texas, and well, the rest is history. Anyway, where were we? What were we discussing?
Ooh.
Linda McMahon.
Linda
Oh.
McMahon.
And the decimation of the education system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that amongst other departments. I was reading. I've been trying to remember exactly what I read. I read an article about Heimlich executive. There's certain agencies that are protected. The FFA. The God damn it. Anyway, these are also departments that Trump wants to go after, but these are protected by, oh damn it, by law.
I think weren't they
Yeah.
like there was like 6 of them that were originally
Yes.
set up
Yes, yes. There's a
around
list
the
of them.
time of the original Constitution or something. That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Well,
here
the
it is. A
executive doesn't make
90-year-old
law.
precedent. That's what it was. It's called the Humphreys executor case. Executor case. The Humphreys executor case. And it's a 1935 law that, I'm trying to read it right real quick. Federal Trade Commission, the National Labor Relations Board, and the Consumer Product Safety Commission are protected under the Humphreys executor laws, and Donnie's trying to shut them down, and he can't do that. But again, we're talking about Donnie, and he doesn't give a shit about what he can and cannot do. He's just trying to do it all.
He just
Trying to-
don't take no for an answer.
No.
It almost provokes him. If you told him he couldn't eat his own shit out of his diaper, he'd probably do it just to spite him.
I don't think anybody wants to see that happen.
No.
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 Blah.
We're not too far
No,
from it,
it's
though.
a
I
schedule
think.
left, guys.
That right there, that makes me want to go ill.
Yeah. No, it's a
Mm-mm-mm.
schedule F.
I think I just threw up in my mouth.
I
Just
do
a
that
little
every
bit.
time I think about the man. It is. It's just.
That's
It's
the
how
Project
many years is
2025
this
deal
shit?
is all about schedule F and eliminating any checks to the balances, right? And that's what the Humphreys Executor Act was
Yeah,
the
everything but
separation
his
of power
mouth keeps smiling.
and not allowing one body or one branch to amass more power than the other. And the the National Labor Board is under threat right now.
Yeah.
With all this funding, and the Labor Board is without a doubt the biggest and most important consumer, workers,
Worker
public,
protection. Yeah.
whatever it is thing for citizens.
Basically, what you're saying is without them, we're fucked.
100%. Absolutely,
Yeah.
everything's out the window from that point, And
Yeah.
Schedule F basically was to come in with pre-hand, like right now, after there's enough shit in the water, is to come in and eliminate those checks and balances. And they filed today to, in a letter, well, it was Wednesday. In a letter Wednesday, the Justice Department Actor Solicitor General Sarah Harris said the DOJ is ready to ask the justices, SCOTUS, to ditch the case called the Humphreys Executor Act.
Right.
The ruling has long held up and the agency independence.
Yeah.
And at a time that Donald Trump is attempting to amass power.
Yeah.
This
Thank
is
you,
Schedule F, and it gives way to martial law. It gives
Right.
way
Exactly.
to the independent
So
executive branch.
basically, right. So basically, kind of like what that General Flynn wanted to do in the 2020 election. He wanted Donald Trump to claim martial law.
Yep.
But instead of Donnie leaving and shit like that, now he's back in and now he's gonna do it.
He would. Don't think for a minute that he would not implement martial law in this country if he has an excuse to. And that's what we have to be careful of. These protests, we can't let them get violent. We can't let them get violent. They have to be peaceful marches, peaceful demonstrations. If anything comes, let it come from that side.
John, let me tell you what. Did you read what happened in Columbus, Ohio?
Refresh. What happened in Columbus?
The neo-Nazis basically got rid out of town, literally got their. Yeah.
That was good.
That was an uplifting story. Yeah, it's when the residents of that area rose up, chased their ass out. But you can expect to see more of that shit because they're empowered by him.
They were on the wrong.
The Nazis, the Klan members, all of them. They're all empowered by him being in office. Isn't that a statement?
Yep. Well, what's even bigger, what's even more of a statement is the Proud Boys. They can't use the Proud Boys name anymore.
Yeah, they can't. They're gonna have to come up with another name, I guess, and they will. They don't, they'll come up with something that catches the ear. Franklin, are you with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hey. Oh, I'm sorry. Yelly Man. I'm sorry, I forgot who I invited to the damn room.
I'm here, Joe.
I'm telling you, I'm having a rough day, baby. Every once in a while, we all have that one day that's going to screw you up, and today is my day.
It's a full
That's
moon.
okay.
We still love you, John.
Is it a full moon? Well, there you go. It's a full freaking moon, and that's what the...
No worries.
No,
We still love you, John.
There's a lot going on in my life
absolutely.
right now. A lot of it on my mind.
It is a full moon, yes, but no, it's okay. We're paying attention to what's going on in your country, and you know that
the world is paying attention.
Yeah,
with good reason.
Absolutely.
With good reason.
We're kind of disgusted by the so-called peace offering that Trump is trying to impose on Ukraine, by forcing them to give up
Trump is going to
25%
fall
of
all
their.
over himself and do whatever it is Putin wants him to do.
Yeah.
That's been a standard thing
So,
ever since his first administration. Everybody knows that Donald Trump admires the shit out of him and wants to please him for some reason. So
We could be headed to a cold Russia, the way things are
What?
moving.
I'm concerned,
Cold War.
when Trump stood on up there the other day in front of the press conference or whatever and was talking about this, and he made the comment that the European Union should pitch in more for Ukraine because Ukraine is the only one between Russia and the EU. When those words came out of his mouth, it told me he doesn't give a shit. If Russia, if they make a deal here in Ukraine, what is he going to do? He's going to turn to the Baltic states. He's going to try to push those as much as he can, try to take those back, to reform the Soviet Union to its glorious days.
Yep.
And Trump is all on board with that. I don't trust him for shit when it comes to NATO.
That has been Putin's goal ever since he came into office in
to
Russia,
re-implement the Soviet Union, to bring the glory back to the Soviet Union.
And he's been going after other countries. You know, that what do you call it? I mean, Georgia, the country of Georgia, he invaded them in 2009.
That's what I mean. And the next will be the Baltic states, and I call them that because I can't remember the names of them. But they're up there.
And when he became prime minister in Russia, he started another war in Chechnya, whatever the hell they call. Yep. He blew up. Putin actually blew up 2 apartment buildings in Moscow. And he blamed it on separatist movement, and they went to war for that. That was the first thing he did when he became prime minister of Russia. No. And you probably know about that, John, don't you? You remember that?
I recall it. Yes.
Yeah, that was the first thing he did when he was prime minister. And then Yeltsin, he resigned as president on New Year's Eve, and Putin came in as a sort of
and that's exactly what Donnie wants. Donnie wants the position that Putin holds in Russia.
Yeah,
president for life. We can elect. Well, it won't be president. It'll be a new term, glorious leader or something,
dear leader or whatever.
And then we'll elect a president who reports to the Grand Poobah, and that's the kind of shit that the right will try to pull. I swear.
Yeah.
They want to turn this into an all-God society
to
benefit the wealthy.
Putin has got his own little bitch in there now with Tulsi Gabbard. She's a Russian asset.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. Seems we put some odd people in charge of.
RFK, that asshole, RFK Jr. He started. It was JFK who initiated U.S. aid back in the days, and today, when RFK was sworn in, he actually had the nerve to say that he thought his uncle would approve of what Trump has done to U.S. aid.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah. No, it's we're gonna.
JFK would have been disgusted by that man, and so
JFK is rolling in his fucking grave,
and his poor father, and RFK would have been disgusted, and Ethel, she died of a broken heart because of him. I mean, she just passed away.
I mean,
one of these things is not like the others. One of these, that's him. Compared to
by the way,
his
John,
family.
It's actually you were wondering what day it is. It's Thursday today.
Is it Thursday? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shit, I swear, right up to the moment you said that, I still didn't know what day it was.
No,
my days have really been. I've had a few events happened in the last several days.
I was planning on playing a prank when you were
rather-
saying it's nice to gather on a Saturday, John, but I decided not to do that.
Yeah, appreciate that. If I'm that far off, damn, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, no, it's so you don't have to do a show before Sunday, so you're gonna have a few days off now.
Well,
after this one.
If I can get through a Beer and Bud Friday, which should not be a problem, but I thought about Wednesday's rant, and just for the record, Wednesday when y'all didn't see me, I had 8 takes on my iPad here. That's how I record my rants. I had 8 takes, 8 tries, and they're ones you're not going to see because of the way they ended. But it was a bad day on Wednesday. Anyway, let me catch up real quick because Mitch Goldstein came in with $2, said, "We will survive. Stay strong." Out of your mouth, brother, and I appreciate you so much. Alan Roberts came in with $10 Canadian and said it took it took a 4-year-old to tell Donnie he's not president. I swear I kept looking at that video and I keep thinking, that's what he said. I think that's what he said. Shit. But out of the mouths of babe. Mitch Goldstein, how are you, my friend?
I am.
And how is Julie?
How are you doing, John?
I'm hanging in there for today, brother. I'm going
one
day at a time right now. Huh?
Let me tell you something.
What?
When people like you and me get old, we start to say, you got to live one day at a time. One day at a time is the only way to live. There is only one day, and it is today. There's no tomorrow. And yesterday, we don't even want to fucking talk about yesterday.
Nothing's
so,
guaranteed.
Focus on today. Today, I had a tough time today.
Oh, Trudy Baxter. You did?
Yeah. Just,
What's up?
About half of my company's business is government contracts.
Oh, shit.
So the whole public sector is now in complete chaos. Just that's the ripples, and I'm not a conspiracy guy, but if I were Putin, I'd be happy to hear that.
Oh, shit, yeah. He's dancing in the streets with all the destruction Donnie's trying to create within the different directorates.
And Tulsi Gabbard hasn't been the director of national intelligence for more than 24 hours. I can't wait to see what shenanigans she pulls.
Yeah.
And I might add, she's
got deep relations in Russia.
Trump is preemptively moving the statuses of a lot of these directorships, including Doge, into the Presidential Records Act, which seals them, if they're determined to be a security risk, seals them for 30 years.
Oh, wouldn't that be convenient?
What's that?
Wouldn't that be convenient?
Yeah. Be very convenient.
Control the information. Yep.
Well, the problem, it's the information that is now under his control that is very troubling. I mean, is Putin going to get the location of our nuclear submarines?
I would imagine. I joke.
He's already got that information from remember when all the documents.
Well, a disclaimer here, just from an old Navy guy. Nobody knows where that fucking submarine is except the commander of that submarine. He is given an area of the world to be in. He can be in anywhere in that area.
Correct.
That is correct.
That would be underwater.
But let me tell you something.
Underwater. They are the most devastating weapon we have because of that. Because of you don't know where it's at, and he's given a commander is given a large swath of ocean that he can be in, and it's up to him where he wants to be.
Like the Gulf of Mexico.
Dare you say?
What the
dare you say? Don't you haven't gotten the propaganda?
Here's the worst
thing Mexico
about
anymore.
Here's the worst thing about that is this was not Trump's idea.
No.
Number one.
No.
It was calculated to have the effect it did, which was to send everyone who's against Trump into a tizzy.
Yep.
And be distraction. It was just a huge distraction. And let me tell you something. You don't set up a distraction like that unless you got something to distract from. I mean, eventually
Indeed.
we're going to start
No,
to
indeed.
hear
That's what the whole
about what's
Greenland
really
thing
going on.
is. The whole
What's that?
Greenland thing is the same thing. It's a distraction to keep you focused on
And we fall for it every time.
We still got a bunch of 20-year-old kids locked in a room stealing our information right now.
Yep.
Well, reports are kind of sketchy on what they've really done and what they have access to. There are people that are reporting changes in their Social Security checks. Legit.
Yes.
But
yeah,
there's
the only
no
thing
evidence.
Not
that they put them
comforting,
in
is
check
it?
with, the only thing they put them in check is on the Treasury, where they stopped them from doing anything in the Treasury Department at this point. But at Social Security's separate department itself. I mean, we pay for that. That's our money, basically.
Yeah, tell that to the politicians.
Yeah. Well, my understanding is the military or the Defense Department owes it like $4 trillion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're
And that's
always
You know,
that comes
I'm a veteran. I served this country. I worked 16 years as a civilian for the Army. I will be the first one to tell you, if there is some place where you can save money, it's in the Department of Defense. It is a slush fund.
Yep.
For big corporations and people that know how to play the game.
Right.
You know, if you're gonna look for somewhere to cut the budget, the Defense Department would be a damn good place to start.
So here's a good place to start. We call it military aid, right? Here's what happens with military aid. We say, oh, we're going to give military aid to, say, Israel. A country that's been doing some questionable shit over the years.
Yeah, I might say that.
I'll leave it at that.
No, I think you're right.
You think I'm right. And without condition, I lost the thread of what I was going to say. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, it's rubbing off.
About the armament?
Yeah, so yes. So we say we're giving Israel $8 billion of aid of military aid, right? You've heard that before.
Yes. Yeah.
And what happens is the U.S. government cuts a check to whatever military contractor builds that stuff, and the stuff goes to whatever country. So it's basically, we're not giving them military aid. We're giving some company a huge windfall every single time.
Absolutely.
And
It's
we
the
say,
game.
Israel doesn't deserve that. Israel's just getting a bunch of junk. What about the people who are making the money that is going to the
defense
equipment that is
contractors you're
not
talking
paid?
about? Oh, those people. Fuck yeah.
Well, they get 100% handling fee on everything they do.
I bet they do.
Several times over.
I bid on a couple of local construction contracts here in Michigan, and they disqualified my bid because it was too low.
Yeah. No, seriously.
And it's like, this is what I can do it for this and make a profit. And they're like, well, we have a certain, you have to pay your employees, what you pay your top level men.
Union managers, yeah. Yeah, we used to bid on those up here in Washington State, and basically you figure out what your cost is going to be, and you put a decimal point at the end of it and add a zero.
Yeah, it's cost plus. It's called cost plus.
You're uncovering my consultant secrets now. Knock it off.
there you go.
It's not financial advice.
No, I base my observations on even small stuff because I was in helicopter repair, which involves a whole lot of contracts with a whole lot of suppliers for parts. Yeah. And the way the system is set up, it's almost like a slush fund. The rules are written to where if you need a widget, well, you can only buy that widget in numbers of 100. Well, you don't need 100. You only need one. But the rules say you got to buy 100. So you buy 100, you use the one. The other 99 sit on the shelf for a month, and then it's sent to PDO, Property Disposal Office, where we're going to sell it back to the public because we don't have a use for it, and it's just taking up space. And who's there to buy it but the original supplier yeah, he just takes those 99, puts one more in the package, and waits for the next freaking order. And that's the way business is done. Yeah.
But we'd rather take a couple billion out of the Medicaid fund instead, right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, let's take it away from grandma's health care.
I don't see why. I don't see why the senior citizens of America having to cut their pills in half. It's not a small price to pay for people who have $250 billion fucking dollars to make more money. That was sarcasm.
Yeah. You figure? Yeah, that's the biggest thing. That I point to. So or I in my own head that I think of is the healthcare system in this freaking country. We are the only ones that have profit for healthcare for profit. And if you ain't got the money, tough shit. And we could do better than that. We could redirect a whole lot of funds to provide for the basic health care. You go to any emergency room, and there's people sitting in there all day long, waiting on one chance to see a doctor. We could do better.
Yeah, you go around the world and you go to any emergency room, and these third world countries, and who's funding that? We are. Well, along with NATO again, but again, we are.
USAID had a part in that too.
For sure, and
I got to call this comment out. Wild Bill knows what's going on. The $600 hammer, they got away with that one by calling it a multi-directional impact device. Yes, I want to comment on that too. Yes, the simplest little device, like a hammer, can't be called a hammer. It's got a 2-page, several paragraph description of what that tool is, and it just.
But here's the problem, John. I'll play devil's advocate.
Okay.
Somebody makes a living writing those 40-page instruction manuals. Someone feeds their kids. Someone takes care of their elder parents. Someone's sending someone to college. Where are these people supposed to go? How are they supposed to just kind of enter the private sector, which I can tell you is already girding its loins for a recession?
Well, then we re-engineer the private sector to include more of what we were just talking about, healthcare for one.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem with capitalism. Here's the problem with unrestrained capitalism. Unrestrained capitalism will seek to profit no matter what the cost. And any historian will tell you that wars like World War I and World War II and the wars we've been involved with since are economic wars.
Sound like a communist, Mitch.
I sound like a communist.
Yeah.
I know. And a socialist and a Marxist.
And a socialist.
I'm one of the rare Marxo-communo socialists.
I'm gonna jump in with a comment here because I'm not sure if you saw Bob Geldof's outburst on Trump after he cut aid to the USAID. Because Bob Geldof used to do that Live Aid. Remember that concert where he was so pissed off at Trump for cutting aid and for stopping hungry children in Africa to have their meals or their AIDS medicine, and we now know that people have died because of that decision by Trump. So
pissed off in America too. Half of this point is that we're there to help the rest of the world because we do have some extra, and we want to be
children are being refused AIDS medicine, and children are being refused food, and people are dying now.
How do they feel about America now that all this has happened?
Oh, they
China's
hate
gonna-
America. They, and the same thing. You might laugh at the green and thing, but that's a big fucking deal in Europe, and that's a big blow for America and Europe because Europeans are pretty pissed off because of that Greenland thing and that Denmark thing because we're all united here.
You got hit with the aluminum tariffs too.
Yeah. But so the attitude. I mean, Trump is destroying America's reputation around the world.
I think that's the plan.
Yeah,
I think that's the plan. It's not just destroy our system of government here, but to weaken our support in Europe. It's it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out why.
America used to be the country in the world that used to be beloved everywhere. People used to look up to
shining
America
city on the
everywhere.
hill, buddy.
Yeah,
because humanitarian, because of that.
That is not the case anymore. And it started with W. Bush when he started all those stupid wars in Iraq. And
I will not argue with that. So I tell people all the time.
Yeah.
That's when I started using my voice was under George W. Bush.
Doesn't it
I don't
seem
cut him
rather
any
mild
frickin'
in
slack.
comparison?
Huh?
Seems rather mild in comparison.
Doesn't
now,
it though? Doesn't it? That the actions of George W. Bush, who took us into
2 wars.
Yes, because all the shit that we've seen in Syria and all of that over there, that's a direct result of him going into Iraq.
Absolutely.
And Iraq was sold as a bunch of bullshit to get us into the war over there so Dick Cheney could make a whole lot of money. Because they weren't making it in Afghanistan. There was nothing to blow up there. Shit. So he sold us into a war.
Disrupted the balance of power in the Middle East when he took Saddam Hussein out.
Yeah, and everything that entailed
Osama
after
bin
that.
Laden, he went straight to Pakistan where Obama finally got him.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many of the hijackers that were Saudi Arabia.
I don't know of another
he did
president
nothing
that would have
to
had the
Saudi
courage
Arabia.
to go into Pakistan and get him the way he did.
Yeah.
Hey, let me catch up here real quick. George Murray came in with a $10 donation. Thank you, George. Elizabeth Centalo came in with $10, said, remember when 47 said, vote for me and you'll never have to vote again? Well, damn. Yeah, Elizabeth. That's what he's working on. And Hudson Kerr came in with a $20 donation and said, John, I've nothing meaningful nor eloquent to say tonight. If I ever did, just going to help buy your weekend beers. Wish we could all just go hang out in the bar together and have the best of convos. Would love all the hugs to all. Hudson, I wish we could. I wish we could all do that. And although it didn't pop up on the screen, I don't know why, Peter came in with a $50 donation. Peter, I appreciate the hell out of that. Hudson, Elizabeth, George, thank you all very much. I wish we could all hang together. That is in the works again. We are behind the scenes discussing the possibility of another Blue Dot family meetup. We've had 4 or 5. About 4, I think.
I have a suggestion for you, John. Remember we were talking about Scotland and how Trump has been behaving there with his golf course and all that stuff. We got remember that Scottish guy you had on? He's down in the audience, Bob Smoke. Maybe you can invite him in the room and ask him about Scotland and because I think he knows something about that because he lives nearby.
Bob
Smoke.
I can do that.
He just raised his hand now. So maybe he can talk about.
I got him. I got him.
Yeah.
I was just.
Hey, I'm out of here, John. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Good night, Mitch.
Good night, Mitch. Thank you much, and tell.
Yeah, he just left.
Yeah,
I didn't leave.
All right. Oh no,
I'm having a brain fart, Mitch.
Okay.
That's all.
Good night, Julie.
Julie. Thank you, Mitch, for reminding me your wife's name. And you know I know it.
All right. You're my favorite septuagenarian.
Oh, can you hear me?
Mitch, take care of yourself. Julie, good night, baby.
You're right, buddy.
All right. And
How you doing, Bob?
I got.
Yeah, here.
Oh,
Bob
Bob.
just joined. Yeah.
How you doing, Bob?
Not too bad, John. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I wanted to speak about that absolute idiot that you've got in the Oval Office.
Yeah.
You know, he likes this golf nonsense.
Yes.
He
He's got a course
kept,
over in Scotland.
well, he's a capital, but one of the ones he bought was it was an established course that was built, 100+ year ago. But there was another course he built which was in Aberdeenshire, which was a new build course. Before he built the golf course, it was all sand dunes and nesting site for, migrating birds and whatnot.
Right.
And he comes in, he runs roughshod over the locals. He bribes the politicians. He pays money to them. They take money. Funnily enough, he just passed an executive order making it legal for U.S. officials or companies to bribe foreign governments and companies again, which is what he did. He built his golf course, and it basically resulted in a 94-year-old woman being kicked out of her ancestral home.
Franklin, can you mute your mic?
Big body, small head.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to Bob?
Did you leave, Bob? Oh,
He fell off.
He fell off.
well, if he comes back, put him in.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up because Scotland has a law against allowing felons into their country.
They do, but you know what? The thing that I was hoping, that I was hoping he could talk about is how because he lived nearby the golf course that Trump owned in Scotland, where he was actually bullying the neighbors, cutting off their water supplies and all that stuff, which is, I mean, people who've been living there for 50, 60 years, he cut off their water supply because they refused to sell him their land so that Trump could build the golf course.
Yep, he diverted it.
Do you expect anything else out of him?
No.
Outside of that kind of shit? No. That's who Donald Trump is.
And that's the other thing too. If they said that they couldn't allow him in because he's a felon, you just threaten him, with some kind of catastrophic,
with some tariff or some other bullshit.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing. Hey, let me catch up real quick. One, John E. McCormick came in with another $5. Said going to be a lot of angry veterans. Recommend Justice Matters. Glenn Kirshner. Yes, check it out. And Blue Dot Greeter came in with $2. And for Elon Musk, this goes out to Elon Musk.
I just need you to shut the fuck up, cause nobody asked you, bitch. I need you to shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Maybe that's what the kid
Shut the
trying to
fuck
tell.
up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Bow, bow. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Bow, bow.
Oh, see there, that lightened my mood just to hear that song.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the
And
fuck
I
up.
need that kind of shit, so. Yeah, shut the fuck
Is
up.
is that Mark's message to us? Is telling
Huh?
us to shut up?
Oh,
Is that message to us to tell us to shut up? How often?
Yeah.
You never
Elon
can
Musk
tell
is-
with the Blue Dot Greeter.
No.
I tell Elon to shut his mouth every single day on Twitter. I'm on my 34th Twitter account because he hates it when I make his pictures sing nasty songs.
No shit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I ought to take up a
34th
habit.
one, buddy.
Take up a hobby.
34th Twitter account. Yep. So
I
much
don't
for
have
free
an
speech.
account on there. Maybe I should.
No, I still
Anyway.
like going on the troll. I got a 2-day timeout here last week for trolling the Fox News guys, and it's talk about some blood red snowflakes.
Ah,
All up in their feelers, all up in their feelings. You barely criticize these assholes, and they block you. They get you on the bullying stuff on the YouTube, right? Biggest
Oh
bunch
yeah,
of
they
wussies.
whine and cry.
And they call us freaking snowflakes. Come on.
yeah. We're going to see how long. We're going to see how long
I'm
all
having
this
good
shit.
luck with the Red Hat Challenge, though. You ask any Red Hat, just Tell me one thing.
Finally went to sleep.
One thing that Diaper Dawn has done wrong in his entire life. Just one thing. And it'll take an hour. It'll take 3 sometimes until they can actually admit that he has actually done something wrong ever. Ever.
Oh, in their eyes, he's never done anything wrong. I don't know how he sold that bullshit, you know, to especially to such a patriotic group as the Republicans.
Right.
You know, and you start with this. You start with when he was 18,
right,
when he got his draft. He couldn't go because I got bone spurs while he's playing tennis and baseball. So spare me the patriotic bullshit that he sells. He's anything but a fucking patriotic America. He wasn't hugging the flag. He was screwing it, baby. He was screwing it. So, give 2 shits about the veterans in this country. You know, there's just a litany of shit that you could point to that says he's a terrible fucking businessman, but that they hold him up as some kind of messiah to how things should go. You know, pulls it out of his ass.
There was a video out the other day where they showed him. I think he was at Mar-a-Lago and stuff, and it looked like there's a big stack of $100 bills and stuff there with his face on it, and something like "In Trump We Trust" and some other shit on there, man. It was like,
they would be willing to I swear, change our flag to the Trump flag. You know, replace their Bibles with the Trump Bibles. You know, they'll sell out their soul.
He's got his eyes on Rushmore.
Yes. He wants his fucking face on Mount Rushmore. Bullshit. Bullshit.
He'd be dead before he'd ever be able to complete a project like that.
I know a manure mountain he could put his face on.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's walking around in the White House.
Miss Chick.
Huh?
What did you say? You know a mountain he could put his face on?
A manure mountain.
A mountain of manure?
Yeah. You can carve his face on manure mountain.
Big old shit.
Where do we go now?
To the streets and to the
we
YouTube.
Keep resisting, John. We keep resisting.
To the streets.
It has to be.
It has to be a movement.
Phones, the streets, all the social media sites. Just keep blasting it.
Let me see if I can
share this shit. Sounds like a good idea.
Oh man, I can't see how to go back to the. Anyway. No. Yep, there it is. I'm pointing this out because this is a good site. 5 Calls. It's called 5 Calls. Right up there, you can see it up there. You can go to your app store or on your device and just punch in 5 Calls. It is a way to stay on top of what is happening and how to contact your state officials. I'm refreshing here. It's pretty much up to date. It says now, this was probably yesterday's. Opposed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Secretary of Health and Human Resources. You click on that, and over here, it gives you the update, and indeed it is updated, saying by a vote of 52 to 48, the Senate has confirmed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as Secretary of Health and Human Services. Let me see if there. How did your senator vote? It gives a list of every senator that voted in there. Mine down here, it says John Cornyn and Ted Cruz both supported him. There's John Cornyn. This is set up for you punch in, you go to this 5 Calls, and the first thing is do is identify the area you're in. You can do that by zip code. So that's what I did. I just put in my zip code, and it gives you all the information for all of your public officials, their addresses, how to contact them. It gives you even hints on how to write a letter. So it is a pretty useful app, and I found it interesting and useful. So it's called 5 Calls, and so that's one I'm kind of pushing. I kind of like that. It's
also 5calls.org as well on your regular browser.
Okay, 5calls.org, indeed. Yes, that's how I found it.
Great
Well,
app.
it must be very frustrating for you, John, to live where you live with all those fucking Republicans.
Yeah, you have no fucking idea.
You only have Republicans around you, politicians. So
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, it gets a little deeper than that, baby. It's down to the street I live on, so you know, it's
I know.
yeah, it's it could be you know, this it's affected our whole society. Not just me. There's people that live in neighborhoods where never before was there such a political divide within the neighborhood where you had signs out in your yard. You know, there's always been political signs, but this seemed like something more than that. It just
it's a cult. It's
is.
what it is.
It is.
A cult.
It's a
I have to
fascist
repeat-
cult.
I'm going to
And
repeat something.
they're
now
allowing
that,
themselves to be led down a path that I don't know if this country can survive if
No.
we don't get our shit together, if we don't demand, and the courts are doing it. And that's what I said from the beginning. This has to be handled within the courts, within our judicial system. You know, we have to show our support. We have to be in the street and show support. But the argument has to be within the court system. Now, whether those laws of the court are
Well, that only works if the person being punished actually believes that the court has any authority over them.
Yeah.
And we know how MAGA is. Well, I choose to believe this, and I believe this way, and I don't believe that the truth is the truth because I don't want to believe that.
Yeah. And that's what you're left with.
Well, get out of your feelings and start facing reality, people. It's going to come down to some pretty awful shit, in my opinion.
It is. It is. You know, and we're not even 30 days in yet. We're not even a full month into his administration. And look at the shit that has been thrown up against the wall.
Aussie Day reminded me that last time Trump was president, he killed millions of people with COVID, and now he's killing people again with cutting aid. So he wants us to call him President Death.
Don't mention the bird flu or the tuberculosis going on in Kansas City, or the measles going on in Texas, or anywhere else that has got anything, because we suppress the information now. There's an order. An order to not give any information on any public health information to the public.
Yeah, and I mean, Robert Kennedy Jr.
Because information is power. And that goes
Jr.
back to what Justice Sotomayor was talking about in her letter. I mean, in her comments on that show. I can't remember what show she was on, where she spoke about the integrity of information and how important it is, especially to the youth of this country, to be involved in our system, in our government and everything. It's difficult to do when most of what they say is bullshit and misinformation, and it's a hard road to hoe right now on that.
But Robert Kennedy is actually talking crap about vaccination and stuff. I mean, if it had not been for the vaccine for COVID, COVID would have lasted 2 years, and it would have killed more people.
And now,
COVID
it's
ended.
It's a worry right now that some diseases could make a comeback because of his bullshit on vaccinations.
They already are. Yeah, they already are, buddy. Tuberculosis is going on. We got measles. Measles does not come back unless you just don't vaccinate it.
But yet he wants to get rid of. He wants a moron in charge of health and human services.
Yep. So my advice to everybody is: if you are a blue dot and a Democrat, take your vaccines. If you are a Republican, why don't you shoot yourself up with some bleach or something? That's a good advice for a Republican.
Yeah.
Maybe I hear blacklight does wonders.
Yeah, maybe they can shine some light up their ass.
That does it. Hey, Alan Roberts came in with $2 Canadian to let us know, put Donnie's butt on Mount Rushmore. I don't want. I've been there.
There's not a big enough mountain for that.
Beautiful monument. I don't want to see it disgraced by any part of that disgusting turd. And Danielle Solomon came in with $2 and said, plant a garden, buy a shovel for all of the manure. Make it a snow shovel, one of them big ones, so you can gather it all up. But that's what he's doing. He's
I'm
selling a
looking
load
forward
of
to
shit.
that Discord page this coming up here in a few, well, maybe 2 months. We'll be able to start planting stuff up here. You guys, you don't have to worry about the frost and all that down there, but
No.
join the Discord.
No.
There's a great
Hey, it was
gardening page
cold.
on the
Hey,
Discord.
I got cold last night. It got down to 41 degrees here last night.
Oh, for crying out!
That's cold. I had the freaking heater on.
Well,
That's a tropical heat wave, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm a wimp when it comes to cold. I'll be the first one to admit it, but yeah. John doesn't do cold very good. I got him. Yeah, Iris. Somebody's telling me to run the credits in the chat.
You're just ignoring us.
I am. What the? Oh, shit. Well, you know how it goes. Time flies when you're having good company. So that's all.
Yep.
That's
Time's
what
fun
I
when
can
you're having
say.
flies.
It
said
is.
Broad.
Before I say goodnight tonight, I want to apologize because I was not on top of my game. There's shit going on in John's life that gets up in his head, and it's difficult getting it out. But I am dedicated to this Blue Dot family, and I want to be here no matter what the fuck. So some nights I'm going to come on here and have my shit together, and maybe some nights I won't. But it's not me that's running this show, baby. It's y'all. This is your voice. And that's what this is. That's what this show is all about. It has been about. It's not about my voice here. It's about yours. I do my rants. I put my 2 cents out there. That's me. This is y'all. And I want to thank every one of you for being a part of it. Anyway, all that mushy shit.
We all appreciate it, John. So just take care of what you need to do, and just laugh, brother. Just laugh.
I appreciate that. Yeah, sometimes it's yeah, I'm not telling y'all anything you don't know that you haven't been through in your life, probably yourself, but we all go
Sometimes you
through
just gotta
shit.
grab a gear. You know what I mean? You just gotta kick it down into second and kick them RPMs up. And
That's
sometimes you just gotta
climb the hill, baby.
sit back and
Climb the
just
hill.
let
You
it do it.
adapt, you overcome, you move forward. That's what you do. And I'm in the process of doing that. But anyway, Fatty, I really appreciate your voice in here. And your input in this show, brother. I really appreciate
all
it.
you guys.
Thank you for coming in.
I am broadcasting live and restreaming on YouTube. If anybody wants to continue this conversation, feel free to hop on over. I'm going to do a little review of some Stephen Miller clips. This guy, man, he's the one that's in Trump's ear. Okay,
yeah,
he's the one that's in there every day.
He's the little Nazi.
And he's a little smug little motherfucker. I figured out his tell. Right, I figured it out when he puts his chin to his shoulder. So I'm gonna do a little review on that. Do a little open panel on the StreamYard if anybody wants to come over and whatever, hang out.
Check it out, StreamYard. Check it out.
Live on YouTube as well. So you guys have a great rest of the evening. Probably see you over the weekend. I'm 2 more days to go here. It's only like -14.
Outstanding, Uncle Fatty. Thank you for coming in, brother.
Yeah, buddy.
All right,
we'll
talk to you later. You bet.
Good night, Uncle Fatty.
Yeah.
And George.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming in, lending your voice.
Appreciate you having me at the table, and I thought it was a pretty damn good show. And
I thought so.
That,
pulled another one right out of our butt.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an open forum here,
not
baby.
quite that far down.
It's we're here for each other. That's what we're here for. And
yes, indeed.
Try to encourage each other to do the shit that we need to do.
Hope for a better day tomorrow, right?
That's it. Hope for a better day tomorrow. All right, George. Thank you, brother.
Yep.
And Yelly Man.
Good night, everybody.
All right, John. Thank you for allowing me.
Always appreciate the view from outside, brother.
Yeah, I hope you have a good. I hope you have a better day tomorrow. And grieving is not easy. It's a day by day thing. So everybody understands that.
Yeah, it's it can be rough sometimes, but we'll get through it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll be
All
back
right,
here
see you next
again
time.
on Sunday. All right, brother. Take care of yourself.
Yeah. Take care, you too. Bye bye.
You bet. And Franklin.
Yes, John.
I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
Come back and see us.
I like coming on here.
Well, we appreciate that.
We
encourage everybody to come on here.
I have a
two
voice.
cents to say. We're here to listen.
That's right. That's right. that's free speech.
That's
Free
it, brother.
speech.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to do that. As long as they'll
That's
let us.
right.
As long as they'll let us do it, we'll do it. So, all right,
All
brother.
right,
Take
John.
care of yourself.
Take care of
And
yourself, John.
you bet. I will. And Miss Chick.
Yes, John.
Oh, darling. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, John.
You're my. Yeah.
And you were talking about, how much these people sustain you, but every time we have a show here and I watch this chat, and these people aren't necessarily always chatting about what we're talking about. They're chatting with each other.
Oh, I love the discussion that goes on in there. It's very hard for me to keep up with it because it does fly
Well,
by rather quickly.
It's great because there's been some, online friendships in the chat that has been ongoing for years here, and they just have fun with each other.
That's the
And
part I
love that.
love. The relationships that have been formed within this family. It is. If you notice the chat, it's all right there in front of you. And yeah, see, there's Iris telling Maria she missed her. People notice when other people aren't here, and it's yeah.
Yeah. We do.
And we do. Anyway, you got anybody you want to call out tonight?
Well, I do, and I want to remind people
Yes.
in Florida that there's those two districts are going to be voting. It is District 1 for Gail Valamont and District 6 for Joshua Wheel for U.S. House. We need those two. So if anybody has a couple dollars, look up those names, send a couple dollars to them to help them out if you can.
Do that too for Blue.
Yep, because they're early voting for those districts in Florida is March 22nd through March 29th, and then the regular poll day is April 1st from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on that. So, anyway.
Outstanding. We only win if we participate, and we need to participate, baby, big time. So especially if you're in those districts, we encourage you to encourage other people in your district to get their ass out and vote. You got to do better than Matt Gaetz. I mean, come on. That's not a high bar to get over.
Really?
So anyway, is that?
But in
the meantime,
we had some very brave souls who shared this shit.
You got to be a pretty brave soul to share this shit.
You do these days. You are risking your very life, I think, sharing this shit. So with that said, I will not be speaking their last names.
Right.
Only
yeah,
the last
we've gone into an identity hiding mode.
We are. It's sad, but that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. We don't want anybody to get attacked.
But I think you'll know who you are when I say your first name and last initial and state. I think you'll know who you are.
Yeah.
So we had John S. from Texas,
I
Donald S. from Ohio, Anthony A. from New Jersey, Justin A. from California, Tracy P. from Florida, and Marge S. from Arkansas. All
shared that shit. Boy,
thank you, Marge, Tracy, Justin, Anthony, Donald, and John. Thank you.
Thank you all for being a part of this, for sharing this shit. That's what makes it grow, baby. That's what makes it grow, and it's not an ego thing. That's a numbers thing. Whether you watch me or other, y'all always hear Midas Touch. I love them guys. Tennessee Brando. The voices are out there. Texas Paul. Listen to
Uncle Fatty.
Yes. Yeah. My mind is just stripped. I wish I need to have a list of them in front of me where I can read them off, because I encourage you to seek out other voices too. This isn't an ego thing for any of us, I don't think. We're not looking at our numbers except to know that the more our numbers go up, the more participation there is in our society. And it's just a reflection of that. And our numbers are going up because there's people concerned and pissed. So, yeah, stay informed. Yeah. And be
like,
pissed.
Share, and subscribe. That's how it works.
That's how it works. Anyway,
Miss Chick,
baby. Thank you very much. What's that?
Join the Discord.
And join Discord. As a matter of fact, I had a wonderful discussion this evening with a new Blue Dot. Well, he's not a new Blue Dot. Bob, he's out in Oregon. Wrote me a letter and had his phone number in there. So, by golly, I called him and had a great conversation with him. I expect him to be on Discord maybe next show. I'll look forward to it if he is. Had a great
Oh, yeah.
conversation with him. So there's a lot involved in this Blue Dot family, as you can tell, not only in the live show but in our Discord. We have a book club. We have all sorts of information in there on a variety of topics.
Discord is very lively. There's
Very
just
lively.
always somebody doing something in there.
Always, and it's a free app. There's no you don't have to use your real name even. I don't think, but as is
No, you don't.
yeah, as is evident by some of the names that you hear on here. So it can be anonymous, or you can use your own name. It doesn't matter. But it is a great place to not only discuss politics, but your barbecue. Just how good is your barbecue? Well, let's see a picture, because that's
We want
I
to
love
see the
food
bar.
porn. I love the food porn. I love to see what everybody's cooking. Anyway, I guess we'll call it for an evening for tonight. And again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and being a part of this. And sometimes I have to take my own advice. You have to find it sometimes. You have to search for it. But every day, put a smile on your face, baby, and give that shit away. Because there's somebody that fucking needs it. And you might just make their day. Anyway, on that note, y'all say goodnight.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. We'll see you again on Sunday.
Good night.
Manana is Beer and Bud Friday. Take a look and see what happens. We'll see y'all later. Oh, I'm fixing to hit the wrong button.